Barrel Surf Podcast.
Barrel Surf Podcast.
Barreled Surf Podcast.
Barreled Surf Podcast.
Barreled Surf Podcast.
Barrel Surf Podcast.
Barrel Surf Podcast.
Yeehaw!
Alrighty then, we are back. Barrel Surf Podcast. Welcome to the show. We're actually recording this one on the videos as well, so a bit of excitement there. We might try to get the YouTubes going. As he's not here, but to my left, T-Bone Collector. How are you, mates?
Good, mate. I should have had a shower. I should have brushed my hair if I knew I was going to go on the tube. But
Well,
that's all good, mate. All good in the hood.
There you go. So we are in an exciting little transition here at the moment. We've just had Portugal wrap up, and we are about to launch into the El Salvador event, obviously in Central America. But before we go too far into what's going on over there in El Salvador, let's have a bit of a wind back to the Portuguese event, mates.
Yes, buddy. Hey, I just want to say, mate, how quick's the turnaround? You know, Pipe and the wave pool was pretty tight, and now Portugal, and then they're darting over to El Salvador. There's no rest for the wicked, isn't there? It's really tight schedule.
My heart bleeds, mate.
I know, it
really
bleeds,
does.
mate. It really does.
Going to go surfing in different countries around the world.
I know.
What a chore.
What a shit job.
What a chore. So, what are some of your highlights from the Portuguese event, my friend?
Well, I think all the highlights came before the actual CT contest kicked off.
Seems like it, huh?
It seems like what Portugal does. I watched a bunch of clips prior to the comp starting, and Super Tubes was definitely doing its best impersonation of Pipe.
Yeah, they seem to be not quite getting the right conditions at the right time. Poor Wozzle. That seems to be something that's been going on for a bit, doesn't it? But yeah, they certainly got some good waves before the event, and it seems like it's firing right now as well. But there was that one little window, Jack Robbo's heat, where he just went ham, got a couple of big bazzers, and escaped out the doggy door on one super heavy section.
Yep.
Got a big score there.
If anyone can find a doggy door, it's Jack Robbo. And those sort of waves, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. And guess what? Robbo seems to find that needle.
He finds them, doesn't he? Yeah. Couldn't quite get the job done against Iago Doro, but I know that Leandro would not be too upset. His boy won, but obviously having Jack in his corner was, not ideal from a coaching standpoint to not get the win, but yeah, it was a pretty good heat between him and Iago.
Yeah, no, it was, mate. No, it was epic. You know, I'm happy for Iago. I mean, he's such a good talent, and he is probably one of my favourite goofies on tour, I would say. I mean, he's such a friendly bloke, and we've met him a couple of times down at Margs, so good for him. But going back to the highs, mate, I think the highs going back to Robbo. Now, I believe they named this reef after Robbo's reef. You know that little chip in that he got from way out the back?
Out the back chip in.
Apparently, it's never happened much before, and Jack Robinson was the first one maybe the first few to actually put chip in from the outside and just sort of pump the way through and just set up a freight train, heaving slabby left tube. So, mate, that would have been a 10 all day in the comp.
Yeah, would have been for sure. But yeah. I've certainly never seen chip-ins like that out at Super Tubos, but good on you, Robbo, for getting the job done. So he made it to the quarterfinals and then got dusted by his stablemate. Oh, it's not really stablemate, but his coach's young bloke, Iago Dora, who went on to take the chocolates over there in Portugal. So good effort from Iago. Took out the rampaging Isolo Ferreira, mate.
He did. I mean, Italo's on fire, isn't he? I mean, you know, he's miles ahead. If you look at him on the rankings now, he's miles ahead. You'd put your house on it right now that he'll be going to cloud break and finals.
Well, he's almost got it wrapped up. So we still have, three, sort of got El Salvador, Queensland, Bells and Margie's before the cut, which is event 7. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
Margie's event 7 for the cut this year, so they've got a bit more time to get their shit together.
They do.
Who are some of the interesting people that are not quite inside the cut line right now, mate?
You know who's having a bit of a shocker, a bit of a Barry Crocker, is Griffin Colapinto.
Yeah, he's currently 20th though, so he's looking like he will, he can't surf any worse than he has been, so he'll be making the cut, you'd think.
Mate, he needs to get some results. Like he's two times Portugal champion, and he got knocked out round of 32 by Marco Mignon.
Marco, surfing well, Marco Mignon, the Frenchman.
And I had him in my fantasy, and I did see a spreadsheet with hundreds of people pick Griffin Colapinto in the fantasy league.
Yeah, that's right.
Thousands probably. Expecting Griffin to deliver the points to the fantasy gods, but
not this time.
Not this time, mate. And speaking of fantasy, you had a good result.
Yeah, finally getting back towards the pointy end of the competition. Currently ranked 390 something. So
still bloody good, mate, considering it's out of how many? 200 and 300,000?
No, I don't think it's that many, but yeah, happy with that.
Yeah.
So just looking at some of the surfers that were sort of kind of going off there, you talked about Marco Mignon. There's a bit of a big result for that young man. And then we had in the ladies' sides, Caroline Marksy, taking out the win.
Yeah, twice winner. I mean, Marksy was due. I mean, it was a bit of a lackluster final coming up against Gabby Bryant. So I was hoping Gabby was going to win because I had her as my power surfer in fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick.
Gabby, she was laying these big meat hacks all throughout the event.
She was. She was throwing a lot of warts.
Yeah, but Cara Lupo, she got those. She got herself swinging back into the winner's circle. So good on her.
Yeah, she certainly did. So you had Gabby as your power surfer. Who was your power in the men?
I had Iago in my men's.
Oh, took it out.
Yeah, in where it cost me, Namu, is I was humming and hawing about having Italo or Jack, and not picking Jack. And I was that close and picking Italo, and I think that was I could have gone up a few more points if I picked Italo, but
not quite there.
That's how she goes, but that's all good.
Whereabouts are you on the rankings, my friends?
Oh fuck, mate! I'm still on the bottom though. I mean, if you look at me, you mean in the world? Oh fuck, I'd be a couple of 100,000 at least in the world.
It's not that many, mate.
Yeah, I'm trying to look now, mate. I'm over. Yeah, a couple of 100,000. I probably had my highest barreled result in our tipping comp. I think I might have come 30th or something.
Yeah, nice.
Generally, I'm down the bottom of the ladder there, but that's all right. Yeah, hopefully I'll put one together, mate.
It's only the third event, isn't it? You got to chip away.
Got to chip away.
I should mention the Barrel Surf Podcast League currently in first place, yours truly. Second place, Bin Stang. So Binzy obviously can't win it. He's got too much skin in the game. And in third place, probably looking good to take it out, is Pencil. Do you know who Pencil is?
No, I don't, mate. I don't know who Pencil is. Mate, but tell you what, there's not many points in it.
No, there's, 2.4 or something between first and third at the moment.
Mate, you're looking good. Shout out to Garthy, who took out the pool.
Yeah, Garthy, yeah,
well done, Garthy. I hope those Cheeky Monkey beers went down a treat. And Dano. Shout out to Dano, little Secret Harbour Shred Lord from way back. The offer's there, mate. Come and get your piss.
No deliveries, mate. We're not spending too much money on this. Well, it's lucky that he's close by. Surely someone can just drop it off on the way up to the city or whatever. Good to see local winners, though.
Yeah, it is. It is good to see. Actually, Dano's coming 11th overall, so he's going pretty good.
Well, shit.
And I'm number 90 overall, so I'm really kicking goals.
Oh, well, it's all good, mate. And just having a look at another couple of leagues, Hodges Surf Centre. Good on you, Hodges Surf Centre. They're a surf shop over on the East Coast, and they've got a board up for grabs this year, 2025 fantasy season. So hopefully I can take that one out just ahead by 18 points in that one. So come on me, let's go. I'll tell you what, it's winter time in the southwest of Western Australia, as it is in a lot of places in the southern hemisphere. Perfect time for a glass of red wine from our friends at Forester Estate. Oh, it's Kennedy. Look at you, mate. What have you got in your hot little hand right there?
Well, it's my cold little hand because it's winter, and nothing better in winter than a good, honest stout. Cheeky Monkeys, limited release, export stout, 5.6%. Mate, I don't know. I just love stout in winter. I swear I could have one for breakfast if I had to.
Like a warm embrace.
It is. Get it around it. If you're up at the VAS facility, 10% off if you mention Barrel Surf Podcasts. Yeah, cheeky monkey.
Excuse me, mate. I'm looking for a premium wetsuit that's going to keep me warm and is as stretchy as can be. What would you recommend, Adsy?
Well, you obviously got to get your mitts on a Shark Eyes wetsuit, mate. They are definitely in the premium range of wetsuits. We've been running them for well over a year now. We've got a couple. You got the 3-3, which feels like a bloody 2-2. And then you got the 4-3 with a built-in hood that is just so good
Also
on these
buttery.
crispy offshore winter mornings. Mate, I love them. I come in with smooth balls every time. That's what the rumours are.
Yeah, Shark Eyes wetsuits, keeping us warm, flexibility included, and Adsy's smooth balls. Let's go. We have El Salvador coming up, mates.
El Self.
Yeah. Who is sort of fantasy picks for this one, mate?
Mate, it's, high performance right hand point breaks. You got to go with those surfers that tick those boxes. Hey, mate, before I give you my tips, I'll just give you a quick little event forecast. This is courtesy of Surfline. We've got, at this stage, it's looking very likely it's going to kick off with fun, good size surf. Some pretty good winds. They expect head-high waves with a solid swell. A solid swell lining up for finals day. So,
is that right?
Yeah.
So the first couple of days are going to be on, or is it?
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be on. It's going to be overhead with a couple of sets. I think the surf dips a little bit over the weekend, but remains at fun size. They're expecting head-high waves into next week, and then if they have a few lay days, wait for that swell to line up. Bob's your uncle. We could be on for a good solid swell. And
yeah, sick.
it is fun to watch when there's a bit of swell there. You remember last year they had a couple of days off, and watching the world's best attack the shit out of Punta Roca.
Geordie says it's no J-Bay, but I think for the layman it looks like a bloody fun wave when it's on.
Mate, at least there's no great white sharks, but...
Well, that's right. Well, probably a few bulls around that sort of Central American area. Yeah, so having a look at your fantasy, mate, who are you sort of tipping for the win in the men and the women?
Dude, it's hard to go past Felipe Toledo. He's in Tier B. You know what I find really hard is making a tip, picking the 4 surfers in Tier B. It is so stacked with so stacked with talent.
Yeah, no, for sure. Who have you got in your Tier B?
I've got Philippe, Joel Vaughan, Liam O'Brien, and Conor O'Leary.
Wow.
Yep.
Easy, bruh.
Just watched Conor O'Leary only earlier before, watching him do the most hardest backhand snaps I think I've ever seen. He was knocking the back out of those Punta Roca walls. Yeah, he's so dynamic and fast. So
I do not have a single goofy footer in my team at this stage.
Yeah, I just think backhand attack on right hand points, it could favour the goofy on their backhands. I've got Philippe as my power, and in my Tier A, I'm going for Rio and Ethan.
Rio is just coming up, isn't he? What about in your Tier C? That's a bit of a hard one, I reckon.
It is a hard one, and Sammy Pupo, I've gone him again. He's let me down multiple times, and
he's going to do it again, mate.
Is this when he's going to pull his finger out and actually get a good result? Because he's a freaking good surfer.
At this stage, he's a challenger surfer, isn't he? He can't get the shit done at the CT level, but
he's like the male equivalent to Sally Fitzgibbons, isn't he?
Oh, don't you say that about our Sally, mate.
Fucking kicks ass.
I will not hear it. Yeah, I've got João Chianca and Crosby Colapinto in my team for that one.
Ooh.
What about in the ladies?
Well, I've got Marksy in my Tier A. I think Caroline is on a roll. Tier A, the surfers really haven't changed. It's either Marksy, Katie, or Molly. So I'm going Marksy this time.
Yep, there you go. That's your power surfer?
No, Tyler Wright is.
Tyler Wright?
Yeah, I'm powering Tyler Wright. I had a look at the stats, and she has the highest heat total in right-hand point breaks, the highest average heat score.
Fucking hell.
So I'm thinking that means points, right?
So is this you and Dave from Current Surf Show talking about all the stats, mate?
Yep. Dave's got a mate who's a full nerd, a guy called Dylan at surfmetrics.app. He produces these spreadsheets. I don't know how he puts them together, but basically he breaks down all the stats.
Taking my eye out. Okay.
And he broke down a stat on the highest average heat score on right-hand point breaks, and Tyler was the highest in the women's.
There you go. So who else have you got in your ladies' team, mates?
I've got Vahine in Tier B with Tyler, and then I'm going for Betty Lou. I'm
in Tier C.
in Tier C.
Who's your surfer in Tier A?
Caroline Marksy.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Who you got, mate?
I've got Katie Simmers as my power surfer.
Yeah, good
Going with the
call.
percentages. Erin Brooks is my only goofy foot in my men's and women's team. Gabrielle Bryan, I thought she looked pretty sparky
a
at
good
Portugal,
call.
obviously getting second place. And then I thought at some point Brissa Hennessy's got to come good. So I've got Brissa Hennessy there as my Tier C surfer in the ladies.
Mate, Brissa Hennessy, you'll make Dave, shout out to Dave, old surf dad. He is a massive Brissa fan. He loves her.
Check out Current Surf Show and Old Surf Dad, some of T-Bone's other surf media related stuff that he's doing.
The old fantasy tips. Definitely don't follow my tips. That's what I will say. I'll just put a few ideas in your head. Definitely don't follow my tips.
It is looking like a pretty good competition. Well, you haven't had, obviously, that WSL sort of get skunked a bit. Yeah, it's looking like a pretty stacked comp. Waves look like they're going to be pretty good. Yeah, who are some of the wildcards that are coming into the comp, mate?
Mate, who have we got? We got all I know is
Brian Perez.
Brian Perez, the Pink Panther, is back. So if you remember last year, he beat Italo.
He did.
He knocked out Italo early. So I think, check the opening round, Nami. I'm not sure who Brian Perez has got this time. But,
Well, I'd love to tell you, mate. Brian Perez is up against a couple of surfers by the name of... he's up against George Patar and Italo Ferreira.
Oh, there you go. So I'd love to see the Pink Panther knock out Italo again. Maybe he could be like, you know how that surfer, what was his name? Sean Holmes was Andy Irons' nemesis at J-Bay. Maybe Brian Perez could be Italo's nemesis at Punta Roca.
He certainly could be, yeah. The other one I think that I can see from looking at this is Levi Slauson as one of the other wildcards, obviously from the States.
I think there's Kira Pinkerton, who's one of the highest North American girls on the Challenger, who comes in for Tatiana. What's happened to Tatiana, mate?
Tatiana's just gone, nah, I'm out of here. What's your mail on that one, mate?
Mate, geez, I think they got I don't know the full download, but I believe she's been competing 10 years non-stop. She hasn't had a good year. I don't know what her current rankings is.
She's below the cut, I believe.
I don't know whether she's second last, basically. She's 17th.
Yeah.
Sally Fitz is above her.
Yeah, Sally.
I think she's just having a shocker, and you've got a few more months left. I mean, how many more months left have we got? I mean, she could win Tahiti. She's good at J-Bay. I just think she should have stuck it out and then just ridden out the entire season.
There's obviously pressure involved in high-level surfing competition and all the rest of it, but you got to wonder what's going on with the WSL if everyone's sort of dropping off. Is there too much pressure or what's going on? Because I reckon it couldn't be that bad a life travelling around the world and getting, what is it, $15,000 minimum US for the last place getter?
Oh, is it? Yeah, okay. I didn't know that much. I mean, we don't know, Nami, whether she's got mental health problems or she's having a shit year, and she can't handle losing all the time. And
can't be bothered with it.
Can't be bothered with it. Take a rain check. But
go home, spend some time with her husband, Jesse Mendez, and come back to the tour next year refreshed. But
because she's dropping off halfway and she's basically on the bottom, is she expecting to get a wild card back into the CT next year? So I think that's a bit of a debate. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Tatiana. I mean, all I can say is wish her all the best. That is mental health related. Take some time out, reset, and get yourself not only fit physically but mentally as well. I mean, just on that, Sally Fitzgibbons, she is such a warrior. I mean, how many times has that girl been knocked off the CT and just keeps coming back onto the Challenger? Sally Fitz, now, I'm just giving her a bit of a plug here, mate.
Let's go, Sally.
The amount of times that she's been in the trenches. I mean, Sally doesn't have give up in her.
No, she certainly doesn't.
She's such a little warrior.
She's due for a result because she's having a bit of a shocker. She's had last and 2 second last so far. And she's
Come on, Sal.
right-hand point breaks. Come on now, Sally. Let's get going here. Just looking at the ladies' rankings, we've got Joanne DeFay. She missed the first comp, but she's outside the cut. Isabella Nichols, Rissa Hennessy, Luana Silva, and Betty Lou Sakura Johnson as well. So, yeah, there's some pretty big hitters outside the cut at the moment.
Namu, if we look at the opening rounds for the men and women, any heats that stick out to you that'd be worth tuning in for?
Well, it kind of depends on what the waves are like. If they're shit, then none.
I reckon there's going to be overhead, fun, reeling right-handers.
Yeah, well, I reckon that first heat, Conor O'Leary against Rio Wider, could be an absolute ripper.
Fuck, that'd be insane.
Jack Robbo, Hal Chianka. Yeah, I mean, they're all good heats, hey? Jack Yago in heat 4. Ethan Ewing is going to be precise, cutting through the waves like a demon in heat 5. And, yeah, we mentioned heat 6 with the Brian Perez, the El Salvadorian...
The Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther. The Pink Panther's going to be right there. And, I mean, geez.
Have a look at heat 10 in the men's.
Heat
Leo,
10.
Liam and Crosby.
Yeah.
Just the battle of the powerhouse natural footers. So
Battle of the Naturals sounds good. Yeah, it looks like Ryan Callanan is back after an injury layoff in heat 11. So, yeah, it's going to be a ripping event. I love the El Salvador event. It's
yeah,
just
mate,
a
I enjoyed it last
shit
year.
time zone for us.
Yeah, it
in
is a shit time
WA.
zone. Fucking enjoyed watching John win last year. Was it? No, John win last year?
Yeah,
he
it did, I think, yeah. So it's 9 o'clock first call for us West Australians, and even worse over on the East Coast, sort of 11 and 12, depending on whether you're in Queensland or New South Wales.
Yep.
So enjoy this, our American friends, because you got a pretty good time zone.
I
for this
know.
one.
What's going to happen with our reselects now, mate? We'll have to set the alarm clock or what?
Just hope they don't run overlapping heats into the next rounds, and we'll be in trouble, mate, if they do that. Who is your pick for the women's winner and the men's winner, regardless of the fantasy team you got together?
I'm going to go... My heart wants to say Ethan Ewing, but I think Philippe Toledo could come back here. I think he's just the full package. He's got the full powerhouse wraps, and he's got the air game.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So I'm picking Phil for the win.
Felipe for the win. He's sort of comeback victory. He's sort of taken off a bit slowly this year. Whereabouts is he in the rankings? Any idea?
I think
he's certainly within the cart.
I'll tell you where Phil is, mate. He's sitting at, where are you, Phil?
Where are you, Felipe?
Phil is ninth. Phil's ninth.
Yeah,
Phil hasn't had a shocker.
Solid year already, and he is well within striking range, a win or two in the back half of the year, and he's right up there.
He'll be in the top 5 after El Salvador. I'll put my Pajero on it.
Yeah, and just remembering that it's at Cloudbreak, not Chiapu, so...
Well, that's another story.
He can do some damage there, no problem. So quarterfinal finish is his best result so far, but then again, I mean, yeah, there's heaps of people within striking range. Geordie Smith is the 12th, Lobby is 13th, Ian Gavea started off strongly at Pipe and just fell away in the last event, but... Yeah, it could be heaps of movement coming into the second half of the season. Obviously, we've got El Salvador, and then what's the Australian leg called these days?
Fuck, the Aussie leg. We got...
Is it like an Aussie championship where they win some sort of car?
Mate, they should. I mean, we got right-handers coming out of our arsehole. We've got Bells, we've got Snapper, we've got Marks. You know they're going to go right there, so...
El Salvador?
Yeah, and El Salvador. We've got 4 right-handers coming up, and then we've got Trestles. So...
Well, here's hoping that they get some box action over this way when they come to WA. Obviously, depending on the forecast and the rounds that have been through, because we know they don't like running at the box when there's heaps of heats to get through, but hopefully they get to this finals day and they can... How sick would that be, running the finals at their box?
That'd be insane, mate.
Bring it on, bruh.
So, Namu, who you got for the men's? Who's your picks for men and women, mate, to win El Sal? Let's hear it.
Yeah, in El Salvador, I have got, let's see, for the ladies, I just don't reckon Katie can be beaten on her forehand out there. Mm-hmm. I think she's going to probably dominate. Okay. And I've actually got Ethan as my power surfer in the...
Good pick.
In the league at the moment, but I reckon it's going to be a natural footer domination. So I've got Ethan Ewing, Jack Robinson in Tier A, Felipe Griff, Geordie and Jake Marshall in Tier B. Jake Marshall might come in, may not. I will have to see about that. And then Hal Chianka and Crosby Colapinto in Tier C.
Solid, mate.
We'll have a look how the first round goes. Obviously, you don't have to have your team locked in until I think it's around 16, isn't it? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, for the women's?
No, for the men.
Round 32, isn't it?
Yeah, I could be wrong. I should know this shit.
Mate, you're bloody leading the bloody
Anyway.
board.
Yeah, so looking forward to this one. I love the right-hand point break comps, and yeah, it should be a ripper. And then we're straight into pretty much bells for Easter. Bonsai Gold Coast Pro, and then, of course, Muggies, which we will be down there for covering for the people.
Looking forward to it.
Covering for the good people.
Looking forward to it.
Should mention we've got a couple of events coming around the Muggies Pro as well. We're catching up with young Ned Hart for his premiere of his film.
Sick.
Down at a local brewery. It's not Cheeky Monkey, but we will give some further details about that a bit later on.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, that's on the the Thursday before the comp gets underway. So get your tickets. They're going to be pretty cheap. It's going to be a band, and there's going to be Ned with a whole heap of giveaways. You might even see a Florence or two. You never know.
Sick. That'd be cool. Look forward to that.
Yeah, and then we've also got the Yahoo event with some local legends, a bit of a live event there, and a bit of a vintage board swap meet too. So
how do you get your tickets there, mate? You just rock up or what?
to the Yahoo one?
Yahoo one.
I think both of them are going to be ticketed, but
That's Sunday, May the 4th.
yeah, it's a couple of weeks before the Margie's event,
Yep.
and then young Ned, Overhead Ned's Heart event is the Thursday before the comp starts, if I'm not
Sick.
mistaken. I could be mistaken.
Mate, it sounds fun. There's a lot of good little events coming up. So yeah, mate, the Barreled Surf podcasts. Meet the Shapers. It looks like there'll be a barbecue and some vintage boards and
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
a few other bits and pieces. So that'll be fun from 3 till 7.
And what date's that at Yahoo?
Sunday, May the 4th.
Oh, Sunday.
Yep.
Settle in with a couple of cheeky monkeys, and away we go.
Mate, you got Barry Young, Bill Gibson, Bob Munkin, and Mark Hilsey Mills. So,
Wow. So three former guests on the show, and yeah, we'll hopefully get Billy Gibson on at some point and do a Billy. What did you say?
Bob Munkin. Bob Monkman. Can't spit it out.
I'm just having a stroke here, and you are as well.
Yeah.
So we've got Bob Monkman, we've got
Bill Gibson,
Hilsey,
and
and
Barry
of course
Young.
Barry
That's
Young. Yeah, so bring it on. It's going to be sick.
Legendary.
Yeah, can't wait for that one.
That'll be fun.
Look out for tickets that are going on sale pretty shortly. We'll put it around the socials, so check that out. And yeah, what else have we got around the Marks event? We'll be doing a little going up to surfers and making them do little 2-minute interviews with us all
Yes,
weekend.
mate. No, for sure. We'll be down there.
Harassing them and
Having a bit of fun and
doing some podium interviews. Not on the staircase interviews with the pros, thanks to the generous folk at the WSL, which give us pretty good access these days, which is always nice.
Just going to make sure Azzy doesn't piss off security guards this year and parks his car where Kelly Slater was parking his car.
You're listening to Barreled Surf Podcast, and I'm Kelly Slater.
We're supposed to, yeah. No, we don't want that, mate. Now, what are we on to next, mate?
Mate, I think we sort of wrapped it all up. We can do a quick.
In that case,
we can do a quick Clive.
Let's do Steve Owen salutes. Here it is.
Beautiful snake. You know what? I'm a professional. You see a snake like this, don't muck with it. And one thing's for sure, don't try this at home. Far too dangerous. This snake could have enough venom to kill me and 100 other blokes out here in the West.
Yeah, well, there we go. Let's get a couple of Steve Owen salutes before we go to the negative side of things with the Clive Palmer Cup. What do you got for your Steve this week, mate?
I've only come negative.
He's only come negative. That doesn't sound like you, T-Bone.
Okay, let me pull out I've got a neggy, but I'll pull out a quick positive, mate. Well, it's a positive and a negative. How good?
All right, well let's go straight to the Clive Palmer Cup, mate. Who's on the negative side of T-Bone's radar this week?
I'm giving it to myself. What happened? I was in the faithful Pajero. I basically came up Sugarloaf Rock Road and turned left into our favourite little wave, and I'm only about 20 metres down the track, and I get bogged.
Bogged?
I get bogged.
20 metres down?
I get bogged and...
In two-wheel drive?
Well...
Lock in those hubs, my friend.
No, so I stopped the car to actually lock the hubs in, this is funny. As I was locking the hubs in, I got bogged in that process. So I had Jimmy Long with me at the time, and he said, "Oh, quick, I'll get out and put your tyres down." But I can't believe it, mate. While in the process of going into full drive, I got bogged, and there was a couple of cars behind me, and I was thinking, "Fuck,
No area to overtake you?
Nah, no room." I was like, "How good's my form?" About to lock the hubs in, and I get bogged. And when I've locked the hubs in, I can't move.
No way.
So I end up getting out, mate. But it was a bit of a Clive Palmer. Never actually got bogged while putting the hubs in before. If someone can do it, I guess I can.
There you go, mate.
So we eventually got down the beach and had a surf. But give myself a Clive, mate. And I'm gonna give the Pajero a bit of a Clive as well.
Come on, Pajero. It's time to upgrade to your little fancy car that you're going to get, mate.
Oh, mate, won't be taking that down the famous track.
Yes, and I'm going to give my Clive Palmer to people that engage you to do work, especially tradies. As he was telling me about a potential job that he may or may not be doing at the moment, and getting a hard time from a certain proprietor of a certain restaurant establishment down Caves Road, and we won't go into names because we might be liable for sort of legal action. But yeah, pay fucking bills, mate.
Fuck yeah.
Simple equation. You're going to get blacklisted in the southwest if you're not doing the right thing by traders, especially someone like Adzi. Jeez, mate, that's
shit, isn't it?
Slippery old slope, my friend. So
it is a slippery old slope.
Pay your bills.
Oh no, exactly.
Pay your bills. All right, so Steve out Salute, mate. What have you got? Have you got anything?
Mate, just in general, being home, it's been sunny, it's been offshore, there's been lots of little waves, and it's probably the best run of surf I've had in a long time. So
yeah, nice.
God love the Southwest. It's definitely my Steve Irwin. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else at the moment.
Tell you what, look, tomorrow's looking pretty good too.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take a bit of a hooky from work and go for a surf and then a fish, I think, tomorrow.
Mate, let's do it. Let's go surfing. So,
bring it on.
No, it's been great. I mean, it's been dry though. One thing I know, we need rain down here, so let's hope we get some rain. And the water, it's been unbelievably warm. I can't believe
super
how warm
yeah.
it's been.
No, it's been good. There's been some nice conditions. Hasn't been overly huge, but some good conditions around. So bring on the rest of autumn, I say, and we'll jump straight into it. Obviously, we've got the live shows coming up, and also the Margie's Pro. Looking forward to this one in El Salvador, and obviously the Australian leg coming up as well.
And Namu, if you got the biggest contest kicking off this weekend is Yelling Up Board Riders. So
the Yelling Up Board Riders, mate.
So it's kicking off. So if you haven't joined up, jump on board, jump on live heats, and sign up to Yelling Up Board Riders. It's this Saturday is the first of seniors event.
Saturday or Sunday?
I'm pretty sure it's advertised for Saturday.
Yeah, okay. It looks like pretty similar conditions both days. So no doubt.
Hey, Namu, guess what? It could be just a straight to the final over 45s. Let's go.
Let's hope, mate.
Fuck.
Let's hope.
Let's just hope there's no shredders in the over 45s and just me and Namu. We just get fucking straight to the podium.
Straight to the prize getting, my friend.
I know.
Let's do that. Yeah, so whatever you're doing, have a great weekend this weekend. And good luck to all the board riders around the place that are having comps. Good luck to all the West Australian men and women in the WSL in El Salvador, of course. Ew. Yeah, it's going to be a ripping few days of surfing, whichever way you look at it. Yeah, if you're going fishing around the southwest, don't forget your bag limits because the season is on. You've been listening to Barrel Surf Podcast. Before we go, T-Bone, anything you'd like to add?
Mate, so much surfing coming up, whether it's CT, Yelling Up Board Riders, going down your local beach. There's no better way to enjoy that with a nice frosty cheeky monkey beer. You know?
Or after you've had a nice surf and a cheeky monkey, you might want to take a little glass of Chardonnay or something from Forester Estate.
Too right.
Whilst you've been wearing your Shark Eyes wetsuit, getting the job done with Adzi's Plumbing and Gas.
There you go.
Had your physio done with Down South Physio, Trev's team.
Bloody oath.
You've been listening to Barrel Surf Podcast, short and sweet today for Short, Fast, Lewd. I think we're maybe going to call this little segment.
Short, Fast and Lewd.
Short, Fast, Lewd. instead of
Okay.
loud. But
Sounds
we'll
good.
catch you next time, and looking forward to the next few days of surfing in the area and also in the competition. Have yourself a ripper.
Fast Lewd.
Short, fast, Lewd.